So we just did a little bit of a double chin liposuction here, and she had Kybella. How long ago was that?
November.
November, so a few months ago. And the problem there was it didn't really look like it did a lot, and it left kind of a hard area there, which suctioning it out becomes a little bit more difficult because it kind of scars inside there, and it takes a little bit of work to break it up and then take it all out. And it actually looks a little bit different than the fat that's everywhere else, because that's kind of yellow soft fat, and the Kybella area is this white kind of chunky gravelly scar tissue. So how was the Kybella thing when you did that?
Painful.
Painful?
It was painful and slow, and it didn't feel like it did very much at all. So.
Slow meaning that it took a while to do, or it just?
Both, yeah, both. It took a while to do. It was like 25 different stabs, pokes.
Yeah, and it was also not cheap, as any of you who have looked into Kybella have probably noticed. It's fairly expensive, and when you kind of compare it to the cost of just having it suctioned out one time and making a nice shape, which you can't do with Kybella, it ends up being far more cost effective to just get this stuff suctioned out. And that's kind of why you're here, I guess.
Right.
So how was the swelling after the Kybella?
For me, it lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah, I hear that from everybody. It's like 2 weeks of looking like a bullfrog. Mm-hmm. And then you're supposed to, they told you to come back, right?
They told me to come back in 2 months, yeah.
So 2 months later, after you got over all the swelling, they were expecting you to just go through that whole thing all over again?
Right, another $1,500.
And another $1,500. So did they tell you at the beginning how many times they thought you'd need to do it?
For me, 3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Oh. And then even from the first one, it didn't really seem to make much difference. So that's a very common story too, that everyone does it like once, and they realize that it's kind of too expensive and painful to make it worth doing, and you're just throwing money away most of the time. So how was this?
Perfect. I didn't feel anything, so.
Okay, did you hear that? It's not supposed to be a painful thing, and that's why I try to give the local really slowly so that patients tolerate it really well. And you'll have a little bit of swelling for like a week that you'll be able to notice. It's not going to be anything like the Kybella swelling. You're not going to look like a bullfrog. It's just that it's going to be kind of puffy, but it really won't look a whole lot different than it was when you had the fat there. And you really shouldn't expect much in the way of bruising. Because the local anesthetic will help to prevent that. And then if you do happen to notice a little spot of bruising here or there, you can put a little arnica gel on the skin directly. They have little pellets too, but the gel works really well if you can see the bruising. And if you do have any of that, then it's not going to last for very long. But most people don't have any bruising at all. And just don't forget to wear the garment. Okay, so that should be it. I don't think we'll have to do anything further for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. It was a pleasure having you here.